Hello and welcome back to Off the Post. In today's episode, I'll be discussing how high can Fulham finish this season after beating top-notch Spurs at the weekend. But before that, as always, please like, comment and subscribe. It's very much appreciated and it goes a long way with me build a small community on my channel. We've recently just hit 295 subscribers. We're only 5 away from our big target 300. Let's go and smash it, shall we? Just want to say a massive thank you for the recent support on our most recent episodes, all the likes and the comments on social media as well. Definitely doesn't go unnoticed, and yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you, really. But let's get straight into the episode, shall we? Fulham beat Tottenham Spurs 2-1 at the weekend on Super Sunday, and what an absolute amazing result for their overall fixture, overall position in the Premier League, okay? They're currently sitting in ninth on 40 points, and that is absolutely amazing. They're level on points with Everton in the league, okay? And for me, there's definitely arguments to be made that they have been a little bit better than Everton this season. They have probably gone under the radar, haven't they, Fulham so far this season? And it just goes to show the excellent work that Marco Silva has done this season. Honestly, when you think about the Spurs game, okay, that was absolutely amazing. Their attacking players were so dominant. They had so much possession, they had so many chances, they created so many chances. Even though they only won 2-1, it could have been at least 3 or 4-1. You know what I mean? Had so many chances galore in both halves, okay? Honestly, for me, fantastic players in this game. Their attacking talent were so lethal in this game. The likes of Harry Wilson, Iwobi, who scored that wonder strike. Emil Smith-Rowe could have got a goal or two. Raul Jimenez, Oscar Bob as well. For me, he's settled in like an absolute glove. Honestly, I don't even know if that's the right saying or not. Probably not. But still, you know what I mean. In this game, absolute brilliant stuff. If we talk about the first goal just quickly, okay, from Harry Wilson, for me, it was a nice little delivery into the box from the right hand side, of course, back post, okay. Raul Jimenez sort of tries to have a hustle and bustle with the defender, the Tottenham defender. Anyways, the ball sort of goes behind him, back over to Oscar Bobby, plays it back into Harry Wilson, and just volleys it straight past Vicario once again. I feel like every time I speak about Tottenham, they just concede goals at the moment. But there was, very fantastic finish from Harry Wilson. For me, he's having the season of his life, isn't he, so far, the Welsh midfielder. He's scoring goals galore, getting a few assists as well, and he's definitely playing to get a contract for the summer, okay? Whether that's at Fulham or for a new team. He's been heavily linked with the likes of Aston Villa and whatnot, so maybe he might see a new team in there. We'll have to wait and see. But maybe just to stay at Fulham, who knows? He's definitely playing excellent at the moment. To me, this was a controversial decision because VR did get involved. Raul Jimenez did push the Tottenham defender, of course, before the ball went into the box, okay? So there's definitely an argument to be made that the goal probably shouldn't have counted just because, the defender got fouled. However, you could argue whether or not the defender went down too easy. It was only a slight push, so maybe if he was a little bit stronger in there, maybe he could have stayed on his feet and whatnot. But either way, Fulham did get the first goal in the 7th minute of the game, and it looked like they were going to absolutely batter them, didn't they? And that's what happened, didn't it? So honestly, right, Fulham were the better team. At the Craven Cottage is absolutely amazing. They are so good at home, aren't they? They're getting some big results this season, and that's why they are ninth in the league. Currently, level on points with Everton. They're only 3 points behind. I want to say Brentford as well, I'm pretty sure, in 7th. So they could even challenge those, Europa Conference League positions still this season. I think when we talk about the highest position Fulham could finish this season, I probably would have to say probably could be 7th or 8th. The lowest position I'd probably say would probably be like 10th, 11th, 12th. If they have like a horrid run in the last 9 games of the season, that's probably where the lowest they probably would finish. But the highest, I could definitely see them getting Conference League. It just depends, depending on Brentford and Everton and whatnot. It's depending on other teams. But for me, when we talk about the second goal, just quickly from Alex Iwobi, absolutely fantastic stuff again from the Nigerian midfielder. This I don't know what it is about Alex Iwobi, but again, this season, last season, for the last 3 years, really, he's really found his own at Fulham, hasn't he? He's really found a shining light. He's the main star at Fulham, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's got the personality. He's got the charisma. You've seen it with all his like their Snapchat stories and whatnot. They're so funny off camera, and they must just bring that personality and connection onto the pitch, okay? And it just works for whatever reason. It honestly does. Fulham have such a fantastic team, you know, defensively, going forward, they was excellent, and they do thrive in certain games, and it just goes to show when they need to come up against, you know, those big teams, they can compete against anybody on their day. Don't get me wrong, it is top notch Spur. You know, they haven't been the great now for 2 seasons, have they? You probably would say to yourself, Fulham probably did edge it in this game, probably were favourites a little bit, all things considering. But either way, you probably would have expected Tottenham to all get something out of this game. You know what I mean? So from that point of view, Alex Iwobi, you know, nice little, 1-2 between Harry Wilson, of course. The Welsh midfielder got the assist. He lays it off perfectly to Alex Iwobi, and he just does like a nice little side foot finesse sort of shot, and it just hits off the bar and it goes straight past Vicario again into the back of the net, okay? And, you know, Alex Iwobi would have loved that, you know, against his old rivals in Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously, once being an Arsenal player, of course, North London rivalry and whatnot. So he would have loved to score against them, of course. I bet he would have anyways, at least anyways. But yeah, you know, after it was 2-0, okay, it was pretty much game over. You know, don't get me wrong, Fulham did have a few more chances. Raul Jimenez could have scored a goal. Emil Smith-Rowe could have scored one or two. There was definitely one in the second half. Okay, I think it was at the 62nd minute, maybe 62nd, 64th minute, something like that. Either way, is where Alex Iwobi gets the ball from a tackle, okay, and he sees Emil Smith-Rowe in acres of space, okay. He runs on into the box, nice little through ball from Iwobi, of course. He runs into the box, and his sort of chip shot just couldn't get over Vicario. From that point of view, it was a little bit disappointing because at 3-0, that would have been pretty much game over. But Tottenham did get back into the game thanks to the Brazilian forward Richarlison sort of scoring a consolation goal. I think Richarlison is one of those players that will have a massive, massive number of consolation goals. He always scores when the pressure is off Tottenham, doesn't he? When there's nothing to play for, he's like a world class player, honestly. But you know, when it's 0-0, when the times are getting tough and whatnot, and when you need to dig deep into the game, you know, it's a bit of a tricky one because he just doesn't really do much. He doesn't show up, does he? He sort of just loses his head and whatnot. You know, he's very hit and miss with Richarlison, so I'm not too sure. And when we think about where's the highest position, you know, Tottenham Hotspur could finish this season, I think, you know, they're currently sitting in 16th place, and I think that they've got hope just to stay in that position, 16th, 15th, somewhere around that, because they can't get dragged down in the last nine games of the season. Their current form at the moment is, from the last 5 games, they've lost 4 and drew 1 out of the last 5. Terrible, terrible form, absolutely abysmal. They've got a form that definitely does deserve to get relegated at the moment. They haven't been great all season, have they? But they're hoping that the other teams in Nottingham Forest, in West Ham, are worse than them, and that's where they're getting a little bit lucky, aren't they? Because they're currently on 29 points, aren't they, Tottenham? And I think, Nottingham Forest on 27 and West Ham on 25. So they're getting a little bit of lucky. They're getting away with it at the moment that the other teams are worse than they have been at the moment. And for me, I don't know what it was about Tottenham in this game. That three at the back formation that they play. Why are you playing a three at the back formation when you don't have 3 fit centre backs? You're playing, you know, Archer Gray as a, you know, third choice centre back / left back, if you like. Then you're playing Pedro Porro as well, sort of in that right back position when he's sort of bombing on, and then obviously, but when you're defending deep, it's sort of back 5 and whatnot. It's just not working for whatever reason. Why play a back 3 when you even have 3 centre backs fit and available to you? For me, a lot of stick and a lot of criticism has to go to the Argentinian centre back Romario. Why get a red card from a few games ago? You know, he's definitely the main centre back in there. Him and Mickey van der Ven, they would have done a lot better, and they probably would have picked up a few more points if he was at the back, because this makeshift back 3 / back 5, whatever you want to call it, is just not working. You've got the likes of Paulinho, you know, playing in that centre back position. Archie Graves is just definitely not a centre back, even though he can do the role, and he's a good player. He's definitely better going forward, and you did see it for that consolation goal, didn't you? Because he did get the assist, that lovely little cross into the box. Whatever position he's playing, over a centre back, that third centre back or left back, I just don't like it. I prefer him in midfield, but it's just up to you. Let me know in the comments down below, Tottenham fans. You know, that midfield of, you know, Paulinho, when he does play in that double position, he does all right. Then you got Conor Gallagher, who's again, been probably a bit of hit and miss this season. He's not really come in and, hit the world of light for Tottenham, and that's probably what you would have probably expected as well, because he's not really that type of player, is he? So he's not that creative type of player. He's more of a, roaming box to box sort of, defensive-ish type player. You know what I mean? Sort of just free roam to sort of just keep the ball ticking, if you like. That type of player to play those sideward passes in between the defence, midfielders, and attackers, if you like. But I don't know. Tottenham. Can they get relegated? Hopefully. It'd be so hilarious, the storyline, if they could, because of the, all the money they've spent, all the signings they've made, all the stadium, playing like NFL games, hosting all these music concerts. Could you imagine that stadium playing in the Championship, coming against like Rotherham, Cardiff, Swansea? Could you imagine all these different teams playing against in that Tottenham stadium? It'd be so funny. But I can't see them getting relegated. But yeah, let's end the video with some questions, okay? What's the highest position Fulham can finish this season? Can they get the Europa Conference League? Have they been a little bit under the radar this season? Have they got like fantastic attackers? Have they got fantastic defenders, midfielders? Like who's their star players this season? How good is Harry Wilson? Is he playing to get a new contract? How good is Alex Iwobi? How good was that wonder strike from him as well? I didn't really talk about it that much. Outside the box, finesse sort of shot sort of thing, side foot sort of thing. It was absolutely amazing. And yeah, what's going wrong with Tottenham? What's the highest position they can finish? Is it a 15th, 16th? Are they hoping to get a little bit lucky and for them to be better than the rest, in the likes of a Nottingham Forest and West Ham? What's going to happen for the remaining 9 games of the season? And could they potentially get relegated? You know, Before that, as always, please like, comment, subscribe. It's very much appreciated. It goes a long way helping me build a small community on my channel. We've recently just hit 295 subscribers. We're only 5 away from my main target, 300. Okay, let us go and smash it, shall we? And yeah, just want to say a massive thank you for the recent support on our most recent episodes, all the likes and the comments on social media as well. Definitely doesn't go unnoticed. And yeah, just want to say a massive thank you. Really, I really do hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.